A growing environmental crisis is drawing national attention. This as raw sewage from Tijuana, Mexico continues to flow into the U.S. The U.S. waters, that is, affecting communities in San Diego, California, and the Navy SEALs who train there. EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin is scheduled to visit the region on April 22nd to assess the situation firsthand. In a recent post to X, the administrator writes in part, a plan must be enacted to immediately and urgently put a stop to this contamination. This visit comes amid increasing calls for federal action from local leaders. Joining us now to talk more about this is a Southern California mayor, Mayor Bill Wells of El Cajon. Bill, as always, good to see you. I mean, you are very familiar with this region, with this issue. Imperial Beach has now been closed for 3 years. But this issue itself has been going on for decades.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mexico is dumping millions of gallons of sewage into the Tijuana River. The U.S. continues to be this dumping ground. Why has the EPA taken so long to act, allowing U.S. citizens to be exposed to such toxic sewage?
You know, I don't think anybody really knows the answer to that question, but I would guess it has more to do with the ongoing emblematic problem of nations taking advantage of the United States, saying that the United States picks up the tab every time we go out to lunch. And this is a Mexico problem, but because it really doesn't affect them, it affects the United States. I think they've just taken on the stance, well, if America wants to fix it, they'll pay for it. And that has been something that they've done in the past, and I think we've gone along with that. But this is a much bigger problem that at least our government has been able to or willing to fix quite yet. And I think with the Trump administration, it's a different ballgame.
Bill, when I said this has been going on for decades, it really has, right? This is an issue that's going on how many years?
Well, it's been going on over 15 years, but the real problem has been over the last 5 years. Over the last 5 years, we've seen over 30 billion gallons of sewage come across the United States border, going into Imperial Beach, closing down the beautiful destination of Coronado, even kicking the Navy SEALs out of their home and forcing them to move their training bases up the ocean side. So, it's become a really significant problem, really, since about 5 years ago.
Yeah, you just mentioned that the U.S. Navy SEALs had to move their training because of the contamination. We're hearing, for Navy SEALs who say, they've gotten really sick over this. I mean, this is an ongoing health crisis directly affecting America's best. According to the Navy Inspector General, during a 4-year period between 2019 and 2023, Navy SEALs reported nearly 1,200 cases of sickness shortly after being exposed to this water. This is making us, less safe, not only in health, but obviously in defense.
Well, that's a big problem. But, I really feel for the people that live in the South County of
Yes.
San Diego. Those are beautiful homes. It's not just people that live there. There's 3.5 million people that flock to the beaches every summer, and they want to go to Coronado, which is just one of the most beautiful beaches of the world. And for the last 3 or 4 years, Coronado is the beach I go to. I have not been able to go in the water because there's always a sign saying out there's too much E. coli in the water for us to safely swim. In a country as rich as the United States, as technologically advanced as the United States, we shouldn't be forced to live in those situations. It's just criminal that it's not our doing; it's another country's doing, who just seems to do it with impunity, and really they don't care. But like I said,
Coronado is a really nice neighborhood. Obviously, this started in Imperial Beach. Do you think if this started in a place like La Jolla, this would be going on for this many years?
I think it would, to be honest, because I think Coronado is every bit as nice as La Jolla.
Yeah.
And, it's, Imperial Beach is not as affluent a town, so I can see your point in that respect. But Coronado is maybe one of the most affluent places in the whole United States. And they've not been able to get any change in this. And believe me, I've been in Washington in the meetings trying to get money from all the Congress people, the congressional delegation of San Diego, and everybody kind of wrings their hands and says there's not much we can do.
I don't get it. I honestly, this blows my mind. We hear, all about this environmental justice stuff. Where is the justice for these communities? This is literally making people sick. Now it's affecting our Navy SEALs. I guess I'm just confused. Why not? They're dumping this sewage into our waters. Just stop.
Yeah, it's just got to stop. The one congressional person that really seems to be working is Darrell Issa. He's been working real
Right.
hard to try to rectify this problem, but he needs a lot more than just himself pushing that agenda. And now that Lee Zeldin, who's the head of the EPA, it's on his radar now. He'll be out here on Tuesday of next week. I fully expect that solutions will start slipping into place pretty quickly at this point.
Yeah, Lee Zeldin has only been in his position for not that long, and the fact that he's making this a priority is a huge deal. What do they need to do to stop the, like, I know you're familiar with this, but what do they need to do to make it stop? Like turn off something?
No, they have a water treatment plant that is not up to standards. It's trying to handle way too much raw sewage. It just doesn't have the ability. This is like many other problems. It's a financial problem. You've got to just put the money into building the plant. And to be honest, at this point, I'm not opposed to America giving Mexico a loan or doing whatever it can to help them through the process. But this is Mexico's responsibility, and I don't think Mexico should always be crying poor. They have the resources to fix this problem, and if it were happening in their interior, I guarantee you they'd be fixing it. But
Yeah.
they're not fixing it because it's on their border.
Well, I'm glad that this has the attention of EPA Chief Lee Zeldin, who's going to be here on April 22nd, which is a Tuesday. Bill, I know you're going to be staying on top of this, so please, love to have you back with an update.
I want to come back and give you a good report because I think we're going to fix this problem.
All right. Awesome. Bill, good to see you. Thank you.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.